Hi, my name is Ricardo, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create an interactive menu in a console application using C#. With this application you'll be able to use the arrow keys to navigate between three different options, and when you press enter it will identify the option that you have selected. Let's go! I am assuming that you already have VS Code installed with .NET 6. If you don't have .NET installed, you can check this other video where I show how to install it on Mac. So first things first, I will use the terminal. If your terminal is not opened, you can press Ctrl and the back tick, or you can go here in terminal, new terminal. And in the terminal, I will navigate to the desktop folder. So cd desktop. And here in the desktop, I will create the app. So you type .NET new console -o for output and the name of your app. So in this case, interactive menu, and press the return key. It will create a folder in your desktop. So if you check in the desktop now, it created a folder interactive menu. And to open this project in Visual Studio Code, I just type, no, I need to open the folder, cd desktop, cd interactive menu, and code space dot space -r, r to reuse the same window I am now. Okay, so now I have here the program.cs file, and Visual Studio is asking me if I want to add some missing assets to build and debug. I will choose yes, and it will create this .vscode folder and place here the files required for debugging the application later. So first things first, let's start by removing this comment here, and I will create the title for our application. So welcome to the world of C#. And I want this to be displayed in a different color. So I will use console.foreground color equals console color dot cyan. This way the text from this point on will be displayed in cyan color. And then I will reset it back to the defaults, console.foreground color, console.reset color. If I go and look to the final app, after writing welcome to the world of C#, I write the instructions. So use up and down arrows to navigate and press enter return to select. So let's do this. Console.writeLine, and here between the quotes use up and down. I will replace by the emoji later to navigate, and press the enter return key to select. If you are on a Mac like me, you have the shortcut Ctrl Command space to open this emoji keyboard, and then you can search by up and select the up key, and down Ctrl Command space, and the same, look for down, and that's good. If you're on Windows, the shortcut for this is the Windows key and the dot key. and then we will display the options. So console right line, and we have option 1, option 2, and option 3. Let's run this program to see how things are looking so far. So I will open the terminal again, and we'll run the command .NET run. Let me put it a little bit more up. So as you can see, it wrote there, welcome to the world of C#. Use the keys to navigate and press the enter return key to select, and the 3 options. If we compare with this result, there are some things a little different, like we need an empty line in between the title and this message. So let's do this first. Here we can type the backslash and the letter N to create a new line before this message. So this solves the problem of having a new line before starting to write this. And the options, as we can see, we also have this symbol with the selected option. So we'll learn how to do this from here. Control Command Space, look for check, and put this icon here. Let's now see .NET Run again. Looking a little better. Another thing you can notice is that I have them all aligned here with the same number of spaces between the margin and the word. So here I will put 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, and here the emoji already uses 2 spaces, so 2, 3, 4. Again, if I press the up key, it will repeat the last command. Now they look aligned. Well, we have seen so far how we can change the foreground color using the console.foreground property. But there's another way that you can also use to change the color. Like here, we created this escape character, the \n, and now we'll learn how to use another special character to change the colors in the string. So for this, I will show you a little of theory. So let's go take a look. So let's take a look at it now. The foreground color codes that we can use within a string uses this \u 001 b, and then the opening square brackets, a number, and it ends with the letter M. And this number in between the square brackets and the letter M is the number that will define the foreground color. In this case, the number 30 is for the color black, and we also have this table here. So if you see 31, 32, all the way until 37 for the colors red, green, yellow, blue, magenta, cyan, and white. In our case, we are using the color green, so I will need the number 32. Let's consider the string option 1. What we need to do is to add before the word option the code for the color that we want to change to. If we go to VS Code, that would mean \u 001 b, open brackets, the number 32, and the letter M. Let's save. Control key to clean the console, and run it again. So, like, as you can see, it changed the color to green, but the options 2 and 3 are also in green, and we only want the selected option to be green. So, if you go back here in the theory, we also have another escape character that we can use to reset the color. Like we have used the console.resetColor command. We can put this, that's basically the same, with the difference that the number that we put here is number 0, and it will reset the color back to the defaults. So back here, I will put on the end \u 001 b open brackets 0m. Let's save and run it again. Perfect. This time only the first option is being displayed in green. And we can use the same approach because here you can see that the enter/return is displayed in green. So we can place this part of the string in between this code as well. And since I would have it here, I will just select Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V here, and the same for the reset. Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. Save, back to the console, and .NET run again. Perfect. Now we also have here the return key. Another small detail that you can notice is that the emoji is not having any space here in between it and the next word. And that's happening because, like I said before, the emojis uses the space of 2 characters. So for solve this problem, we need to add an extra space here after the emoji. 2 spaces in total for each. If you go here, Ctrl key to clear and run again, you see that now it looks like there's only 1 space in between, so a little better to read. And now let's go to the logic to build the interactive menu when the user presses the keys. What you have to know is that basically this part here, when you have this menu where the user needs to enter some information, usually we place it in a while loop. For now, I will just put while true, so it will run indefinitely, and it will write this. But if I run this for now, it will be writing to the console these options for a long time, and this is not what we want. So after displaying the 3 options, I need to wait for the user to press a key. And we can do this with a variable named key equals console.readKey. Since I will be using this variable in different places, we will need this variable to be declared outside of the while loop. And instead of using the var keyword, I will declare it explicitly. So here outside the loop is, if you go and look in the console read key, it returns a console key info. So this is the type for the key variable. Console key info key. Don't need to initialize it. It will be initialized here. And then I will read the key, and then I need to take some action. So I will consider that when the program first runs, the initial selected option will be the option number 1. And if the user presses the down key, it should change to option number 2. And if the user presses the down key again, it will change to 3. But if the user presses the down key another time, it will not change to 4 because we don't have option 4. It should go back to option number 1. So this is what we will do now. I will need a variable to store the option, and here this can be an int option, and the initial value will be 1. Now, depending on the key that the user have pressed, I will take a different operation with the option variable. So let's create a switch case block with the key object and comparing its key property. And I will start with the case console key dot down arrow, and I've already put the break. If it's the down arrow, the variable option should increase. In the case of console key up arrow, it should decrease the option variable. Option minus break. And another possibility is the enter key. So case console key dot enter break. When the enter key is pressed, we actually don't need to change the option variable. So what we need to do here is to go out of the while loop. Let's close this for now. If the enter key is pressed, that means that the user made a selection, and I just want to display the selection in the screen. So after going out of the while loop, I will console.writeLine. You selected the option, and the option that is selected is the number that the option variable is at the moment. So I will start put before the screen the $sign, so I can use the string interpolation. That means I can put variables within the string between brackets, and here just write option. This is a cool feature that eliminates a little bit of concatenating strings. But how I will make it go out of this while loop when the enter key is pressed? I will need somehow to make this true become false. And I can do this through a variable. So I will down on a variable. This variable will be of type bool. And I will call it is selected. And its initial value will be false because initially the user haven't selected anything. And instead of putting while true, I will put while exclamation point, that means not is selected. So while is not selected, it will be repeating this process. When the key pressed by the user is enter, I just need to be is selected equal a true. This way, after pressing enter, when the while go check the variable again, it will see that is selected is now true, and with the exclamation point, the true will become false, and then the loop is interrupted, making the selected option to be displayed here. Let's see what the program is doing so far. Control backtick, Control key to clear, and .NET run. So, if you notice here, it wrote everything that we defined here, and now it is stopped at this line. When the console.key runs, it keeps waiting for the user to enter some information there. So let's press the down key. What happened? Well, since what needs to happen in the down key, it just increased the option variable. and then it will go back to this line and write all the options again. But it wrote below the existing options. What's weird? If we press now the up key or the down key, it will just keep repeating over and over, and if I press enter, you selected the option number 2. Let's run again. This time I will press the up key 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times, and now the enter. You selected the option number 3. We don't have an option number 3. So there's something wrong here. What we need to do now is to position the cursor back to the line that it started when it writes those 3 lines, to make sure that those 3 lines are always written in the same position and not written in a different position. And how do we do this? We need first to store the value of the cursor position before writing this. So every time you write something in the console, it's like the cursor position is placed in somewhere. And for this, the cursor position have 2 coordinates, one of its position from the top and another for its position from the left, like the horizontal and vertical positions. So I will use the construction syntax, open parentheses, int left int top equals console dot get cursor position. The cursor position is a method that returns a tuple, 2 values that you can assign using the construction syntax here. Now, before writing this, what we need to do is console dot set cursor position, and then we can define the position using left and top arguments, and I put left variable, top variable. Let's see if it's working. .NET run. Now if I press up, down, well, actually we cannot see anything in the screen, but at least it's not repeating the menu options one after the other. And if I press enter, it will show me that I have selected option 2. But we need to show the user what is the current option that they are selecting. And how can we do this? Well, in this part that we are displaying the options, we cannot put this escape character and this emoji all the time. We need to put this only for the selected option. So if the selected option is the number 1, this should be displayed in green and the others no. If this selected option is 2, this should be shown green, and so on so far. So I will take this part of the string, that is the color, I will cut it from here and will place it in another variable. String color equals, and we'll place it here. And now the reset is something that will be necessary for all the options. So I'll copy and paste it in the 3 options. And here, this we need 4 spaces. This is important to remember. Here I will put the $sign, $sign, and here we will create an expression to define if this color will be displayed or not for this particular option. We have the ternary operator, that's basically like an if statement in an expression. And basically what we need to do here is, I put it in parentheses, if the color, if the option equals 1, then question mark. If this is true, I want it to place the color here, and then I put the colon sign. It's like the else, so else, then I will put 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, to ensure that we will have all them aligned properly. And this will be the same for the other options. So I can just copy and paste here and here. The only difference is that now I will compare with number 2 and compare with number 3. Let's see if this is working now. Control backtick, .NET run. So I will press the down key. I will press the down key again. I will press up, up, down, down. Apparently it is working, but what if I press the down key again when I'm the option number 3? Then no option is selected. If I press enter now, it will show me that I was in the option number 4. So there's something wrong with our logic that we need to fix when we reach the limits. Let's do it now. When the user presses the down key, we need to check if we are already in the option number 1. And if that's the case, it should be sent back to option 3. And I will use the ternary operator again. So option will receive. If option equals number 3, that means that I am in the last position, question mark, option will receive 1. Otherwise, option will receive option -1. Oh, +1 in the case of the down key. And for the up key, option equals, if the option is already 1, that means that I'm the first option, question mark, it will return 3. It goes to the last option. Otherwise, it will reduce the option in 1, decrement it. Therefore, the enter option, it should stay the same. Let's test it again. .NET run. I will press down key 1 time, down key again, and down key again. It repaired it, went back to 1. I'm in the option number 1. I will press up key, it went to option 3. That way, it seems to be working. Let's select option 2 and press enter. You selected the option 2. We are pretty close to this result. We have just a few things to adjust. Let's get rid of that blinking cursor. So I will here use the command console.cursor visible equals false. That way the cursor will not be shown blinking anymore. And we also need to display in green and with the emoji the selected option with a blank line after the last option. And for this, I will come here. Remember how we can put the new line. It's the \n, and I will put here the color variable because it will already put it in green because we defined it before. Let's clear the console. .NET run. Now the options are here. If I select option 2, you selected the second option and ends our program. And that's it. You now have an interactive menu in the console written completely in C#. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel to have more C# videos. Thanks.